What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, we got more leaks to talk about from Miller Ross. Go watch the last video where we talk a little bit about the guy. Obviously, very well known, and I think very plugged in. And in that last video, we talk about, well, there was one extra character that he added, right? And he likes to use emojis, which I think is a fun little game, and I think people on Twitter have had fun with this fun little game. But originally, in that video, we talked about, okay, this fifth character, not like in the base roster, want to make that very clear, just in case there are some headlines and stuff of people claiming that this was like literally part of the core 4 roster. The game would launch and Killer Croc, let's say, would be part of that. No, the DLC character afterwards, right? Well, he lists off a whole lot more of emojis this time, and this one is a little bit more complex. Things can go different ways. People were guessing, on his Twitter. We're going to go over all of this, obviously, but just to give you a summary, people were guessing it. He said to one person that they got 4 out of the 6 right, so we can kind of get close at least. So let's talk about it. So he does this tweet, and it's a lot, like I said, a lot of emojis. The Killer Croc is now moved way back. Now, people were asking, like, does order matter here? And I think he said, like, the first 2, so the clown and the frost one, those ones are in, like, a similar state of development. Originally, though, he had Killer Croc, but then I think after Killer Croc, he said that may not be, like, the first character that comes out. So, order, maybe don't take the order all that seriously, right? Just expect eventually these are characters that could happen. So what we have is, again, the original 4. We have a clown emoji, a frost emoji, a gun, a scale 1, Killer Croc again, and then a flag. So what we have is people guessing it. Let's go over that tweet actually first. Let me see. Joker, Killer Frost, Peacemaker, Deathstroke, Killer Croc, and Katana. That was a stretch. Let's see if I was right. And Miller Ross says 4 of 6. So what a lot of people are guessing, and I wouldn't know this if it wasn't for, the people in his Twitter, so definitely give credit to them, not to me. Punchline. So Punchline is a character that I looked up. Seems pretty cool. She looks pretty cool. And I think that fits it way, way more, right? While a lot of people are saying, oh man, can you actually get Joker into this thing? Like, would that work? My answer to that would be no. I do not think you get Joker in I mean, literally, you can just go like timeline and it makes no sense. Even if you want to say for like the popularity, like, yeah, would this be a cool place for like Joker to shine and be like a different, not a different take like on the character, but like a different take on his movements and all that stuff? Because technically, playing as him, well, very briefly in Night, also in Asylum, if you got the, I think, PS3 version, right? It came with the deluxe, the Joker map pack. So, it would be like different on that end. It wouldn't be different like they're just going to make their own version, because it'd have to be that version. You know what I mean? It'd have to be that Mark Hamill version. So that makes a lot more sense. That'd be Punchline. Now, I mean, using that logic, honestly, because I kind of want to, because Joker doesn't make a lot of sense. So if we were to replace Joker with Punchline, then you would have probably gotten 5 of the 6 right. So then you just have to look at the rest and say, okay, well, one of them is wrong. Killer Croc, is right. So now you got 2 of 6. Killer Frost, I think Killer Frost makes a ton of sense. I would lean on that one being right. Peacemaker, I mean, with all the stuff with DC and just everything going on, I think that makes a lot of sense. Katana makes a lot of sense as well. I really don't know what else that could be. So really what you're just left off with is Deathstroke, right? With the scales. And actually, I think Miller Ross said in a different tweet that specific one, many people are not going to get that because it's as close to almost an original character as you're going to get. It's like a real deep cut. So that one is probably the one that's wrong, which does mean most likely that Deathstroke is not going to be, unless maybe Deathstroke is that one and it's Peacemaker is not the one with the gun. But I just, like, the Killer Frost one makes way too much sense. The clown one, you just have to go with like clown related characters in the DC universe. There's only so many to choose from. Killer Croc is obviously kind of locked in, right? So you don't have too much wiggle room there. And I guess that concludes the part where we debate about these characters. Quick thoughts on it. They all seem very cool. I'd be interested in seeing, each of them in this game. Like I said, I honestly am going to stay very, very much on this side. And this doesn't relate at all. If you're watching WB, you're not going to get me on this one. This is not me playing the beta or the closed tech test. This is not any impression of that. This is an impression of everything that we've seen going into it. I've always been afraid of kind of the originality of all of these characters. It was I would maybe say it's my number one worry, to be honest with you. The fact that the movement and then like a finishing move is kind of as original as you're going to get with these characters. That is what concerns me. So to see these characters, I think, is going to be cool, but they really got to pack a punch. They really have to feel unique in some way. And I mean, the way is most likely going to be how they move and interact, right? I don't know if that's going to be enough. I'd also really want, like I said in the Killer Croc video, I really, really would want some sort of story content. To me, this is just how I play games, the kind of games I'm into as well. I am not into just dropping a couple characters and saying, hey, almost as if they're skins, even though clearly they're not in this case, right? These are not skins, but in the same sense of not caring, right? Just kind of giving you a little bit more variety, saying, hey, here's another 5 characters to play as on top of the 4 the game already came with. To me, that, like, maybe this comes off wrong, like, that's not enough. I need to see story content. You need to come in with like a quest line with them. You need to have some sort of expansion pass with them that goes a little into their story. And I said that with Killer Croc. You know, if you bring Killer Croc in, you can't just insert him in a random patch and say, okay, all of a sudden now you can play as Croc, and like the characters are going to have cool dialogues with each other, but that's it. Like, he's not going to have a story. You don't really know how he got from Arkham to this, anything. Like, he's not going to have a quest line in this game. He's just a character. To me, that's not for me. And that's fair. I mean, ultimately, look, maybe it's for other people, and that's totally cool. For me, I would not be a fan of that specific way of injecting the characters into this game, okay? That's just me. But with that being said, I mean, the fact that these things, like I said, actually with Killer Croc, the fact that these things are being leaked so early, to me at least, does signal they have a game plan, which is very good, and I actually want to see that more than anything, right? You can't have this game come out and just have a terrible kind of roadmap going forward. If you want this game to last long term, I have questions about that. I don't even know for sure if it would work. In fact, I'd maybe take the under there, but you need to come in ready for that. You need to come in ready that every month and a half, whatever, you have your double XP weekends, you have your this, you have your skins once a week or once every 2 weeks, you introduce more skins, you do all of these different things. Once a month, you drop a character. You need, if the game is made like that, which this game 1,010% is, then you need to have that kind of game plan. You can't be going 3 months, drop a character, 5 months, then the next character gets delayed. Now it's going to be another 3.5 months. You can't have that. You really can't. So that's my opinion. I feel very strongly on that, though. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure, as always, you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on. I hope to see you all on the next one.